Ain't necessary. Ain't nothing. Say nothing. Ain't necessary. Roll off in the R1 ooh-op. Like doo-wop. Shoebox. No PCS. Cause everything down is a bet. And you know the game is fucked up when your bodyguard need a bodyguard. After goals. Be real. Evil. We real. Ice Hawk, what's going on? Ain't necessary. Peel off in the R1 ooh-op. My mixtape bumps like doo-wop. Mr. Game, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? My battle buddy in arms over there. Raise it up. Raise it up. Raise it up. Chalk. Homicide, New York. Hand me the steel. Breathe in your man to get killed. Loving your life. Logging your wife. Running your life. Cocaine back. Blow your brain back. All the way live. One in your head. Gun under your bed. Bills. Raise it up. Raise it up. I feel that. Raise it up. Raise it up. Raise it up. Raise it up. Right now, we gon' hit you up with the joints like blast nasty, fight foul styles, taking you to the bank. My rules pack shake, let that click, and the 600 biz tank. MCs get got, coming to tangle for wild angles, get mangled. Buck 50, give us bullies, till your balls won't know you. Take 2D stitches to slow you. Uh-oh. It's the rest of it, me and my crew, it won't be beautiful. All that stuff you talk is new to who, where they at? Words hit you like a semi-mac, any act, unaccordingly. Give me that, so court title was house, confiscated in death. Me and my killer's still here, and your ass is out. We about the guts, and bet you get touched, and such. Raise it up. Everybody from the streets better. And if you hold it, he better. Raise it up. You better. You better. Official ass coming through better. All the willies at the bar better. If you bouncing in your car better. Raise it up. Raise it up. Raise it up. Stick your fingers, madman. Tear down stages. Ain't nobody dead or alive could get with me in my rages. Throw my clip in the gat and I'm sick of the yapping. I'm ready to bust a cap and it can happen. The niggas will get shot. Fuck the rapping. Get your ass kicked. Set you up and get you blasted. Close casket. I'm the bald-headed bastard. Black dust gave me black lungs. I pack guns. I'm used to action like dodging bullets over crack funds. Reaction. Plays the Max 10 Shogun. I can spot the shiesty villains cause it takes one to know one. Remove my mask and reveal myself. Heal myself. If I was you, I'd kill myself. So play dead. I stay red. Spray lead. Yeah. What up? Without they head. Sun holeless. They about to get roughed up. What? When you see me, all you hear is fuck. Raise it up. All my shorties in the spot better. If you don't wanna get shot better. Better. You better. Official ass coming through better. When you see the cops coming better. East Coast, West Coast better. Raise it up. You better. You better. Raise it up. What? We do it. Raise it up. Raise it up. All right, we Norchin. All right.
Let's go. Yo, no sleep. I brush my teeth on the streets of this concrete.
Long leaf.
I swear I feel
Complete.
Best be bomb-proof, standing
10 feet from me. Fire fumes. Looking for shiny jewels. Like donkey, cause light takes a piss like en suite. While I'm drilling it.
Still spin you even if I look zombie. Air Max utility on feet. My temper ticking like clocks. Can't cut me off. I'll be thumping up the scissors like rock. For the paper, I'm a sinner. Doing drug deals for dinner. Food making nitty shiver like shock. I'm rich in pushback knuckles. You don't know about that wealth. Still got anger issues. I ain't never found that help. Still we all gotta deal with the handman's dealt. I'm 24 carats still. You're on the pound line shelf. Full tank, make you walk the plank. It's the Digimon and overkill. Full of myself, follow my path till I'm off the rail. Garbage pail kid, flip my lid till they recognize. Got a couple enemies, bro. We some techie guys. Got a couple big plans that I jeopardize. Hope I fucking ground as I stare into the devil's eyes. Live the life, walk the line, leave you pussies petrified. Couple past mistakes that I'm never gonna rectify. This that do or die shit. Live my life like a coin flip. Fuck it, then we riding. I'm blinded by my purpose. See nothing but the work now. Handling this fire, leaving most of you burnt out. Southwest lost boys, pen poison infinite. Don't bother trying to work it out. The plan stays intricate. The circle stays intimate, bro. I stay hungry. Trying to make money, hit that shit, man, from skip country.
Bad motherfucker, son of a pimp. Hand-to-hand combat kid was trying to never be skimp. Coin raps like the mint with the pocket that stinks. Raps coming out, dirty words, they floss and they wink. I was little knucklehead, Ash, give me 300 pills. I came back a day later with 100 less. Didn't sell them, ate them. Went and played pitch and putt with Leaf and the Novices. We were made of different stuff. I was the weed man. Ask anyone. Got it from the source like Evian. Had to pedal hard till my legs were done. Good at maths, had the head for sums. A splash of clever on exceptionally dumb. Flexing the tongue, bars do many reps. Heavy set, hangry like they ain't had they ready rep. Still naughty, nearly 40, spit that make your Becky wet. No father to my style or if it ain't met him yet.
Fall away, jumper.
Good.
So,
What did I tell you?
you know what it is, man.
So then I came down.
Cooking souls.
Fishbone, no tins, blonde bitch, big tits on the couch like Prince, clocking in daily. Yeah, ho, gotta pay me, ain't no time for regrets. Still spilling more wet. Life precious, if you slow, then you left. I done turned to a vet, so the jack for a vet, coat to the floor. I'm a mag in the trench, condo no rent. Yeah, the dawn won't rest. Roll rhymes for a check, I don't need to connect. All I need is a booth and a reason to flex. Her knees in the neck, put the P's on the jet. We just chillin', that's 10K in my sweat. Bigger than you thought, from New York to Brazil. Make a meal in my sleep, still on a winning streak. 92 Olympics, baby girls big pimpin'. Baby girl, we still winning. Bigger than you thought, from New York to Brazil. Make a meal in my sleep, still on a winning streak. 92 Olympics, baby girls big pimpin'. Baby girl, we still winning.
Run up the paper like like Xerox, it's non-stop. The management of the clock is the most important stop. It gotta count, never write a check that's finna bounce. Survive some droughts, it came out more improved without a doubt. I'm on the echelon that can't be fucked with. I power up like Dragon Ball, I'm so destructive. If it ain't about the money, then I'll be reluctant. Jury thick like a cable, 18-wheeler truck shit. Wasting my time, I just conclude you want some fuck shit. Mr. MC with the hammer, you can't touch this. Split the win in several ways with my team. Each one teach one, that's the meaning of the means. Cannonball, I'm a rapid fire machine. It's so my style represents cultivation of cream. Extreme, like Jordan taking your dreams. Fire in my eyes, I smoke the mic like a fiend.
Bigger than you thought, from New York to Brazil. Make a meal in my sleep, still on a winning streak. 92 Olympics, baby girl's big pimpin'. Baby girl, we still winning. Bigger than you thought, from New York to Brazil. Make a meal in my sleep, still on a winning streak. 92 Olympics, baby girl's big pimpin'. Baby girl, we still winning.
Word life. This is basic thugonomics. Boom, 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 boom. Who's Norchin? Who's Big Glorch? What is up with my... Oh, that's why. That's better. But yeah, a couple people were asking me earlier why it seemed like I've been offline a little bit more. And I don't know if it was really intentional. I think I had to really focus on the business side of what I was working on. And a lot of times that just requires you to fucking go into a hole and crunch numbers until, you know, you can't come out until you fucking solve for X, whatever that is. And while we're still in the process of doing that, you know, I'm in a place now where the actual app itself is pretty close to being done. At least, you know, the initial 1.0 version of it. We have no more critical blockers. None. Of course, we could do more testing in certain things, and that's awesome. But like, the app is pretty ready. The app is pretty damn good right now. Now it's just a matter of, you know, making sure everybody who's supposed to be on the plane is on the plane. Everybody is seated where they need to be seated. We have our itinerary. We now are just waiting from the clearance from the tower, the control tower, to say, you guys are ready to fly. And we're doing that right now. So that's where my mind is at right now. There's no room, no margin for error. We had a great weekend this weekend, not only working on the app, but making contacts. Our CTO was at Emerald City Comic-Con and made incredible headway and just making contacts and demoing the app and demoing the technology and getting real-time reactions and getting sort of the temperature of the industry. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
I mean, we're working on 2 of the 7 Infinity Stones right now, which is pretty crazy. Look, a debate that I had fucking 10 years ago apparently surfaced recently. It's been making its round. I totally forgot about that. Ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-doom, boom. Man, I've been sitting on this bowl for like 10 minutes, but it's felt like an hour. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Somebody asked what kind of shirt this is? Reptilia Reaper? It's like a dashiki, like a low key, you know what I'm saying, African style. You know, I don't know, I just like the energy, you know what I mean? I just love I've always loved the African aesthetic visually, stylistically, like how much color is in this. You guys see this type of shirts and shit that I wear. Like I'm a weirdo. I'll wear my Starfleet uniform out in public. I did yesterday. I went to go get coffee and I had to go inside because apparently there was some shit going on in the drive-thru. And I'm like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'm a Starfleet officer. I'm a fucking Starfleet officer. It doesn't matter. So I'm walking in there and people are looking at me like I'm crazy. And I'm just like, look, this is me every Sunday for the last 13 years. So, you know, you can look at it like that. But since 2013, you know, we've been, first of all, shout out to the Unified Federation. It was a great weekend. It was a great fucking weekend. We got a chance to really train and game. I love Star Citizen, but the fleet is what makes playing Star Citizen what it is. And when we are able to just get everybody in there and train and stuff, it's too much fun. But yeah, it's just I think this is more of like a, I don't know. This is more like a Nigerian Ghanan style, if you will. VBM, what's up, man? How you doing? Well, cheers. We're going live. Look at that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Doom, doom, doom. On a winning streak. 96 Olympics. All right. Sorry, you guys. I was just responding to a Discord message. But yeah, so I just been working on the app. So that's what I've basically been doing over the last couple of weeks. I've sort of been out of the site, the sort of main view, trying to just keep my head down and crunch numbers and make sure that certain things that I want to happen are able to happen. There's a lot of people who are depending on me to do my part of this. And don't get me wrong, I've played a giant part in the development and the conceptualization of the technology and everything like that. But, you know, my job is to sell this thing. My job is to expose this thing and to get partnerships for the platform and for the technology. So my whole goal is to focus on that and make sure I can do that so that the rest of the team can eat, you know? But it is running well. I mean, it's running the best that it's ever run. All of our critical and release blockers have all been addressed. So yeah, now it's just the business part of this. And I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but you know, I've been pretty successful. You know, I don't have any world titles yet, but I do believe that with this technology, I think that we have the ability to really move the needle in that direction. JW Bowen, what's up, man? How you doing? Glad you can make it. Oh yeah, man. this is the stream. This is what I do when I'm not doing what I actually do, which is run companies. But honestly, like that is the job that's what I want. I just want to sit in the chair. I don't really have another experience for at least the last 10 years plus of my life. I've only really known the chair. So, just trying to justify that. It's like, why should you be captain? Well, let me justify that. And this weekend, with our presence at Emerald City Comic-Con, we made some huge contacts. I mean, Infinity Stone level contacts. And very excited about the technology, some more than others, but a general excitement about the evolution of the comic book reading experience. So I do think that is some momentum we will have going into this Kickstarter in the next couple weeks. You guys will see me do a lot of promotion involving not only the Kickstarter, but just the platform itself. And as we open it up to wider testing, I just think that, there's only so much preparation you can do before you just have to fucking put it out there and let people break it. Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. I was working on it as late as 2 o'clock in the morning last night, just tweaking things and making sure shit is hot, and it's just crazy. Yes and no. I mean, look, as much as I'd love to, smell my own shit here and act like I've somehow reinvented or something like that. Maybe we have. Maybe that is a thing. I mean, we do have 2 patents on our technology, but patents pending. But I do feel like this is something that no one has ever really tried to do. And there is, I've never seen anything like that. There was never anything like this in the way that we've sort of done it. So we're just going to try to, make this something that people would enjoy alongside physical analog comics as well. Because I don't think that that's going to change. I don't think people are going to, especially comic book fans, they're not going to stop buying physical comics. I think it's the digital comic landscape that has suffered in this. Is that Lewin? I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Lewin Kruger? How you doing? Found you through your music. Dope stuff. Hey, you know what? I'm still in a realm where people discover me. I'm still in the timeline where people are discovering me from my music. And I haven't really been a full-time performing artist in probably 5 years. I've released albums. I've released work in that time, but I haven't been a touring artist in quite some time. And yet there will be people who still will discover me, and their kids will discover me. I'm finding now the age of discovery is getting younger and younger, and I'm just like, I would understand your parents listening to me. It is quite another story when you have 16, 17, 18, and 20-year-olds listening to you, and you're like, how did you guys find this rabbit hole? How did you find the Greydon Squared Grand Unified Theory rabbit hole? That's a rabbit hole. That's its own path. yeah, you know, what's funny is you said I originally heard you in 2007 on the Skeptic's Guide. Yeah, I remember that. I remember doing that, and I remember how many people discovered me from that. I mean, I'd say 50,000 people discovered me from that. Easy. I might be under, you know, I might be conservative on those numbers, but I could conservatively say 50,000 people discovered me from. I mean, I have 50,000, you know, listeners just on Spotify a month. So it's not outside the realm of possibilities that number is that number back then, which wasn't even, in my opinion, the peak of when I was really moving and grooving. So, but yeah, it is something where I do appreciate that people still find me through my music. I'm recording another album now. I'm finishing up a song I'm doing with Seagats, my partner in rhyme from Ryu Converses, and you know, we're doing some stuff together. I'm really excited about. Like, I've wanted to work with Gats again since the last time we worked together. I think it was we did something with Ryan Adam. It's like Cosmic Cruising. That song's in the playlist as well. Yeah, if you guys don't have that playlist, by the way, I feel like, you know, this is one of those things where it's like, if you are on Spotify, one of those. Let's see, found you through Second World Cab Ride, and then saw you rapping in a Star Trek uniform. Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah, I was in uniform yesterday. I was on duty yesterday. So yeah, Second World Cab Ride. I always got to give a shout out to my homie, my brother, Audio. He's the guy speaking in Spanish, right? He's the Mexican translator for me, and basically he was the one who kind of put that idea together. Like, he had this idea of like, oh yeah, you know, if you came to my country, you know, you'd be in the back of like, you know, this like, you know, cab, and you know, you're talking to this dude and you're trying to, you know, translating this whole thing. And SPJ, what's up, brother? How you doing? One of my other brothers. But yeah, that was his idea. That was his whole idea. That's why he gets a feature on that song, because that was really his song idea. We wanted to do an inverse version where he's rapping and I'm the cab driver, and I always wanted to do a version of that as well, because he's actually a dope rapper. He can rap in Spanish and everything. I always thought that was sick. But I know a few dope Mexican rappers. So SPJ, dog, I still want to have that Lil Wayne debate, dog, because I you know, I had this conversation with Gats about Wayne, and you know, like, I just feel like I'm probably higher on Wayne than a lot of my rap friends are, but it's like, dog, how did all of a sudden Lil Wayne become underrated? Like, wait, what timeline is that? Oh, what's his name? Yo. His name, you talking about the guy who did the song? You talking about Audio Future? Well, his stage name's Audio Future, but he's only on the song as like the translator. And then my homie, one of my students and one of my close friends, Soundwave, he raps. There's a lot of dope Mexican MCs out there, actually. Like, there's probably a lot more than people think. I know Lefty Gunplay, I don't know if I would call him an quote unquote MC. I mean, he's definitely a rapper, but I think that the term MC is a very specific term, so I don't want to give that just to everybody. But like, Lefty Gunplay might be the most famous Mexican rapper of all time. No, I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting that. Nope. I'm not accepting he's overrated. Either he's properly rated or he's underrated. Either he's properly rated or he is underrated. Overrated? Nah, dog. Most people understand how skilled that dude is. Phonetically, his wordplay, punchlines. I feel like I'm looking at this from a technical perspective. You guys may not like what he talks about, and I don't even really like what he talks about. I'm not saying that he talks about stuff that's like intellectually stimulating. But from a lyrical perspective, nah, dog. He's overrated? Nope. I can't say that. Lil Wayne is overrated? Dog, he's won tracks against big dudes. Did he? Right? Like, I've heard him on tracks with dudes, MC dudes, big dudes with bars, and he's come out on top. He's won those tracks, in my opinion. Of course, this is all opinion subjective, right? But I feel like I find myself arguing more for Wayne than I ever thought I would when I was a young MC, because I was not in the camp of that's just not what I listened to. I was very much more into the hardcore Cannabises and, Killer Priests and, Raz Kaz and people like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was into the hardcore lyricists. I wasn't really into that. But I definitely think that he's a far more skilled MC than a lot of people give him credit for. I've heard him win tracks against Tech Nine, Nas, Luda, Conway. He's won tracks against some big dudes. No, the trash? No. The trash has impact. Everyone's garbage. I have garbage, right? Some of the worst songs I ever did are like the original Tuesday. I have a song called The Worst Song I Ever Wrote. No one's ever heard it. Some of my friends have heard it and shit like that. It's literally called The Worst Song I Ever Wrote, right? Probably never come out unless I die and I tell everybody to release everything. But, bro, I got garbage. How much does it hurt my case of people considering me whatever they consider me, wherever they consider me, right? I don't think it factors in that much if you have more good shit than you have garbage. I'm familiar with Gift of Gab, very much familiar with his work. I'm not arguing his ability, his overall output. Well, you know what's interesting? I'll say this, in true transparency, because I said this to Gats as well, and I think he's in your camp, right? I don't listen to Lil Wayne outside of features, because in my opinion, this is my own personal, the way that I sort of rate MCs, the way that I rate MCs is very much in a one-on-one matchup or a who won the track matchup sort of situation. I like to hear the phonetics compared to each other in a competitive state. Most MCs know if I'm rapping on a track with somebody else, what's the number one goal? What all my students, if I have students in here, what is your goal when you're on a track with someone else? If you're a student of mine, what is your goal? You have one goal. You have one purpose. You have a single purpose when you're on a track with somebody else. Win the track. You are to win the track. I don't care if you're on the track with your homie, with a student, with your Sifu, with somebody you're battling, with someone you just met, someone who's paying you for a feature. It does not matter. You have one purpose, at least if you're a student of mine. I know there are different schools of discipline. I know there are different dojos out there. That's why we call it the dojo, right? Because we treat this like a martial art. In our style, in our discipline, you are to win the track or die trying, lyrically, of course. There is no other objective. So I'm looking at it from the perspective of, did Wayne win the track or did he lose the track? Who was he on a track with? Everybody I've heard him on a track with, for the most part. I mean, he's taken some L's. There's a couple of tracks I've heard where he's on a track with other people where I'm just like, damn, Wayne, how did you let that person get you, or that person get you, or whoever it was? After hearing him, because I think he raps up and he raps down. I think he raps up to his competition and his feature, and I think he raps down to his competition and his features. But I say this as a person who doesn't really listen to his albums. I only listen to his features. You know what? This is a great point. James has a great point. SPJ has a great point. He said, if you're only paying attention to his features, I can see, but one of the biggest knocks on him for the longest time is he's better on his features than his own stuff. I didn't know that was a long time knock on him because I didn't listen to him. So that's interesting. I would take a little bit away from him because of that, if that is the general consensus, is that his solo shit is kind of mediocre always or whatever. When I hear him on a track with people, I hear a competitive MC. I hear a swordsman. I hear someone who does not want to go down in flames. I hear someone who does not like, the song with him and Eminem, obviously M was still in his prime. I mean, that was maybe either right before Rap God or a couple years before Rap God, but like M was still M at that time. I don't think anybody was catching M on a track, like nobody at that time. He's had a couple of other tracks. I know he's had a track with, a couple tracks with people like Drake and people like that. And it's just like, I've heard Drake get him on a record. Like Drake have a better verse than him on a record that they're on. So it's like, okay, I'm not saying he's flawless. I'm not saying if you want to have him outside your top 10, I'm not even mad at that. Here's where I quote unquote draw the proverbial line. He isn't whack, and I have a hard time accepting that he's overrated, as opposed to among his peers, and the general consensus is that he's rated properly. Kind of like Eminem. Some people will say M's overrated because, whatever reason or whatever, and it's just like, I don't know about overrated. To me, either he's properly rated or he's still underrated as far as what he did to the game. But we're talking about Lil Wayne. We're talking about Lil Wayne. We're talking about Wayne. I'm not talking about him. But if you want to have him outside your top 10, okay, name 10 rappers who are better than him, and I'm probably going to agree with you. So I don't know. That's kind of the way I would look at Wayne. We probably meet closer than we are apart, SPJ. I'm pretty sure. Script says you don't win the track by trashing other MCs. You make them look good and win the track. Yeah, a lot of people misunderstand what I mean when I say win the track. That doesn't mean you go and you disrespect other MCs. That doesn't mean you try to throw little sneak disses or shade or whatever to the people who are on the track. Like, no, that's not what I'm talking about at all. And I'm glad you brought that up. That's not it at all. What I'm talking about is your goal of winning the track is simply being the best and letting the crowd decide at your best, were you better than everybody else who was present? Sometimes that may not always be the case, right? I got songs I did in, group songs, even now to this day. Like, I may not have always had the best verse on a song, right? Like, I think of one song just off the top of my head, which is Jupiter Gas. You can't tell me Sci-Fi didn't have a better verse than me, dog. That verse was fucking obscene, right? But, I'm me. I've gotten Sci-Fi, I feel like, on a couple of tracks. We go back and forth. He's an incredibly skilled MC. He happens to be my student, so I take great pride in that. But it's like, doc, you're not going to have the best. It's not about having the best. It's about trying your best. It's about knowing that you are going to attempt to be at your best in this particular expression of your art, and you're gonna let the gods decide. That's what I mean by winning the track. Doesn't mean you go in there and you're like, yeah, I'm dope and all these other dudes are whack. And no, you don't have to do that. You can just be dope and say that these other dudes are dope too. And you can do it in a way where people are like, man, that dude right there who was putting everybody over, he didn't bury anybody. You know, a lot of dudes, they get on the track and the first thing they want to do is bury somebody and talk shit about their enemies or their ops, or it's like, you don't have to do that, in my opinion. It could be a different world. I'm in my 40s. I'm fucking unk status, so nobody's listening to me. But from my experience, you didn't have to. You didn't have to in order to win a track. Eminem didn't bury Jay-Z to win Renegade. He just won Renegade. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just won the track. He was the better man. And in fact, I think on that track, he puts over Ice Cube on that track. I think he has a line where he does have a, like, I mean, he obviously is, there's a nod to Jay in there, but like, he acknowledges a lot of the God tier rappers of the day, right? Thunder Scorpion says it was his beat. Yeah, I mean, even if he had home court advantage, like, if that's gonna be on Jay-Z's album, I mean, if I'm Hove, I'm like, all right, I'm on. Cause look, everybody knows the story. I'm just gonna tell it again. When I did my first song with Cannabis, I rewrote my first verse. Yeah, did I rewrite the first verse? Yeah, I rewrote the first verse. And then I wrote a second verse after, just to balance out how good he was on his verse. So yeah, what had happened was I wrote the verse, and we had already made contact. I'm already sort of like on speaking terms with this and all this, and like, so he's just waiting on my verse. So I wrote my verse and I send it to him. I email it to him, and then I get his verse back, which was the one that ended up in my verse, which the original verse I wrote was not the first verse that ended up on that song on War Porn. And I remember hearing it and looking at Blue Picasso, and like, I was like, oh shit, dog. Like, I have to, like, my verse is not good enough to be that first verse. And I sort of retooled that first verse to be what it is. And then I wrote, I think I had other stuff afterwards that I kind of wanted to say, and so I wrote that second part as well. But dog, like, I'm trying to keep up with my Sifu on that record. Like, Cannabis is my Sifu. So I'm trying to keep up with him at, what, 27, 28 years old? What was that, 29? Maybe? When did we do that song? I might have been 28 or something, 28 or 29. But still, I mean, he was so much more skilled than me. And I was just honored to be on the track. The second track, Six Blancas, I felt like I was a little bit more, or a little less starstruck by the fact that, like, okay, I'm on a track with Cannabis. Now it's like, oh, okay, I'm on a track with the Sifu. He's gonna be dope regardless. I'm just gonna show you what his best student is. And so, you know, and then of course Gats was on that record as well, and, you know, on the remix and everything. But like, my whole approach to that was, I had gotten the sort of the jitters out of, and I think in between that I did the song that had Cool G Rap on it as well, and there was a couple other things that had happened where it was like, okay, I'm one of them now. I'm of the initiated. I'm not just a person who wants to be a rapper and a fan. Like, I'm one of the dudes. So I think Vinny Paz is dope as fuck. That whole crew, I mean, I don't know how far out they extend, but it's like 6 or 7 dudes. Self-Titled's in there, Apathy's in there, fucking Motive is in there. There's a couple of dudes that were real sick in that crew. There's a lot of dudes, man. I mean, this is what I'm saying. I really enjoy breaking this shit down from a very technical and fundamental level, because I grew up in hip hop, you know, and this for me has always been my sort of music is my native language, but hip hop being, you know, the vehicle through which I express that. Like, I've always felt a certain proximity to hip hop and lyricism. Immortal Tech, yeah. Immortal Technique, yeah. He's dope. I remember we would draw a lot of comparisons, me and him. I remember a lot of people would tell me that they had discovered me and him around the same time, and that there was a lot of playlists. So here's a tip for anybody who ever wants to make music professionally. The best thing you can do is get yourself on playlists. Like, that's how you make your money. Yes, streams and followers and stuff like that works, but where you're really going to get those streams and not have to sort of sell yourself every month is algorithmic adjacency to other rappers that are either similar or like, or people adjacent to you, right? And so me and him were sort of like algorithmic neighbors, if you will. Like, you're going down the sort of anti-government, questioning everything. There's only so far you can go before you reach Greydon Square, right? Like, there's just that road. There's only so many exits. And, there is like other people who are like that as well, who are often compared to me or I'm compared to them. It's just the nature of hip hop, right? It's like how you're sorted. But if you ever want to like really make this shit a career where you're like getting royalties and stuff like that, it's really all about playlists. So there's that. I missed the early rap and hip hop. Naughty by Nature was really good, in my opinion. Oh, Tretch? You talking about Tretch or Vinny? I mean, Tretch is the one that essentially is a good chunk of what Eminem's style was. Like, you talk about a very skilled MC. Like, you could argue New Jersey has essentially made per capita some of the best MCs of all time. Lou and Kruger says, you ever made vinyls of your albums? Yeah, I tried that. There was a whole fucking debacle behind that shit. I got screwed, fans got screwed, everybody got screwed, but the people who took our money. So it's unfortunate. I'm still gonna rectify that. I'm just waiting for this other windfall. But anybody who was, trust me, if you bought that vinyl, you're gonna be happy that you bought that vinyl one day. Trust me on this. I promise you. I'm down to prep. Searching. Feel like some grasshopper this morning.
Drastic. I'm trying to finalize this trade between you, heaven and hell, involving your first round draft picks. Asterisk, you'll know who's robbing you maskless. Flee from the guillotine, we're known for dropping new baskets. Blast this across the Omni, all anomaly, all for the Donnie, walking calmly through this lost Jumanji. This is different, but you all deny me. While I traverse the realities that you author blindly. Often they would scoff at our offering, called it awkward timing. If I can walk through the portal first, you can walk behind me. Yeah, I'm atheist, but I talk divinely. Any of you ever been stalked for rhyming? No, I didn't think so. Strange Days, one-off classic, this is not a sequel. The 6th member of SG-1 with a hefty gun. You'll get dismembered, affecting sons, but I'll bet we won. Them the afraid, living in hate, the simians fade, fishing in lake. If they're biting, I might give you play. Idiom vague, plenty of name, trivium, dealing in bait, from straight oblivion gate, giving them.
full obsidian slate. If I pay respect off the top, I'm avenging with blade. Each of it taken off of a block, I'm offending in ways. You wouldn't ontologically get shocked from living in pain. Even if all of this stops, the potential exists. Think you calling the shots? Determinism dissents. You even call on your gods. For me, none of it fits. I'm sure to most apex entities, I'm a son of a bitch. I'ma get through this maze, even if I have to invent how to sift through the ways. Meaning in non-Euclidean, unlocking different shades. Limited like compendium in spite of living in rage. It's splendid conversing with the ascended. If it's mercifully emerging from words that burst in a sentence, you're cursed in an instance. Aversion perturbed and its surge is complicit. A permanent purge, see him lurking with murderous interest. Loaded for bear, coded for lair, over the snare. The opening's there, hope to despair, frozen in fear. Stuck in this motion, he's toting his gear. The harsher the critic, the more potent the smear. Globalist fear, chosen the spear, broken a sear omen. Open ears, hoping they don't want to hear him open. I'm poking at weird slogans, roving bear token. My flow is the nearest ocean. Hold his beer, he's boasting a mere quotient. I appear gross as defiantly weird cogent. Lying there dying, he's high in the gears frozen. Iron steer firing, flying with rare Trojans. Motive clear, yeah. Nihilist goaded giant of focus, but pious and pulpit who draw upon Mayan and Vulcan. Rhyme and emotions, knowing his mind is open. Time for devotion, but he is designed from the broken golden tear. These rappers, they scatterbrain. We shatter frame with the precision of batarang. Same shit boiling, we spit on the track again. Different toilets, justice depends on the bladder stain. Yeah, Gray Square. Yeah. I knew it from the song's title. If all tribal, my crews had to hunt you with long rifle. Attack of the fates is lost kaiju. Heed the gravitational space, I'm raw tidal. Puzzle the poem, it's all haiku. Peep the ultra combo to face, I've caused spinal. Leave the aberration in place for all cycles. Lord of lyric is born, sworn in with visions of war. Hordes of the billions of swords lied to. That they tagged me a heartless heathen. When after we pulled off a successful departure sequence, half of me was mad while the rest it was hard to see that the blasphemy to mastery path is a part of genius. So they target us now. We were helping these monkeys climb up the cartage of scale. Lead from the tallest of tales, a creep from the harshest of hell seen. And the demons quelled spell from the start to the hell legion. For he can tell tales through his art to the frail deacon. A planet of fools, with nations that could only take you where animus rules. Distance, fates, blinds, and kismet. Baselines, elate mind, space-time, dimension. Grace via mention. Mission finds the great climb ascended. With you and I chased by the ending. Predetermined, it's all luck. Your card sucks, so we coming over the top when we call bluff. Either promote or get your pawn stuck. You have to really have the nerve to ask what lies beyond the construct. Gorgeous disguise. I sit at the bar of infinity, ordering lives, whether joy for bliss or horror demise. Torn the pleasures, absorbing the cries, inordinate size. Prize, it's cheers to the misery. Why there's even something at all peers through the mystery. Science is the artisan's god. Here's to the ministry. No, I don't need linear cause. History's history. Well, as much as I like to, I got some other work I gotta do. Do I still work with trauma? I do. He doesn't go by trauma anymore, by the way. He's been Brahma. He's been Brahma more than he's been Brahma 4 times as long as he was ever Trauma. Can someone add me to the dojo? I still don't have access to it. Well, you can't just be added to the dojo like that. The dojo is a part of Tier, and Tier is a server of formal education, meaning you either are paying tuition in actual money or you're paying tuition in work for GU or work for Majestic or work for Manifest Software or something like that. There are no free rides at Tier. So, in order for that to happen, you'd have to be added by me or one of the other black belts. And that, you know, I mean, what you could do if you wanted to, if you wanted to sign up for classes, you could just go to the Patreon and just pay for the tuition part of it, and you could access that way. But these are all people who either have the tuition access on Patreon or they've been added by either myself or one of the other black belts. I feel like a cartoon. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. It's always interesting. I'm not going to say weird because I don't think it's weird. But it's just always interesting to read that and then to realize that someone is talking to me. And I'm like, oh, wow, you're talking to me. You like my stuff. Wow. And I'm genuinely surprised. So, but yes, that is the sort of method of how you get access to Tier. And then of course the dojo is located in that server. Yeah, that's why I take so seriously this. That's why I take so seriously what I do and how I did it. Because I did feel at some point there was going to come a time where somebody may say that to me, where it's like, hey man, you changed my life. And it's like, wow, did I? It's maybe you changed your life and I was simply the soundtrack. And I was simply the score. And I appreciate that. I'm not dismissing what you're saying or trying to minimize it. It's hard for me to be present during compliments because it unlocks some of these deeper insecurities that I've struggled my entire life to combat, so I appreciate it. Thank you. And yeah, let's keep changing lives. I think we can keep changing lives, but it's going to be on a much larger scale. There is a sickness in our world and I want to help fight it. I think a lot of people know what that sickness is. I'm not going to say it, but if you've been paying attention to the news in recent weeks, you know what I'm talking about. And I just feel like if your purpose isn't to do something about that, to stop that, then, I can't really speak to what your purpose is, but we just have 2 different purposes. So, but yeah, I just have a different mindset now, But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Taking compliments is difficult. I struggle with that. Not that I get a ton. Yeah, if I have to be honest, I get a lot of compliments about my music. And I try not to say that because I feel like if I speak it out loud, it will the jig will be up, right? It'll all collapse. And maybe that's not the case. Who knows how long I'm going to be here? Who knows how long I'm going to be here healthy? I have friends now who are struggling with illness and things like that. I got homies who are serving life sentences and the whole nine. I'm extremely fortunate to have survived the things that I've survived and to have overcome the things that I've overcome. But I also realized that I was extremely fortunate to be born when I was born and in the region of the world in which I was born and some of the advantages and opportunities that gave me. And so I also have to consider that as well, in the fact that I could have been an orphan in a second or a third world nation and not the United States. That being said, no, this place is not perfect, and I don't claim it to be. But I am fortunate that I was born here under the circumstances than somewhere else under the same circumstances where, you know, I was born to orphanhood. So, another thing, you know, being the score or the soundtrack to someone's life, like I do find this an honor. You know, we have a section in the Discord. It's like a ask me question section, and you know, people will ask me questions in there about, you know, very specific things, like, oh, like, who's your favorite wrestler? Like the last one, it was like, who's your favorite wrestlers or whatever. And I just was thinking of people off the top of my head, but I think one of the things that I appreciate about what I've been able to do as an artist, and I think what GU has been able to do as a community, is the distance between artist and fan, or the line between them, is kind of blurred. You know, it's like, it doesn't take long to be in the Discord to like realize I'm always here. You know, I'm someone that comments and talks in the server most of the time, you know, whenever, you know, especially if it's in house chats or things like that. A lot of people will say, hey, I don't see you posting in the Discord. It's like, that's because I post mostly in house chat, or I post in specific house chats, or I post in Tier or the UF or Majestic Comics or Manifest Software, which are all, you know, they're all essentially GU. So that's kind of where I am and how I operate on the server. But there is a section that's people ask questions called Ask Greydon Square. I think a lot of people who start as fans become friends, forget to tell people how often they are. Learning the craft from a master is one of the most worthwhile things I've ever done. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Can I ask you a question? Have you really heard disembodied voices? I'm getting injected with an antipsychotic today. Well, I've never experienced that. I can't say that I haven't met people who have, though. I have met people who have. There is a person within our community who does struggle with that. And so, you know, I do know that is something that people do struggle with, and medication is something that, you know, if you've already been diagnosed and prescribed and you have positive results with your medication, then that should be something that you should take regularly, regimented, because I do think that it allows you to manage. But I'm not going to dismiss that as just some sort of a condition. I have to reserve, and I don't know if this is even helpful, so maybe I shouldn't say this. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. But here's the thing. I'm not a medical professional. That's just it. I'm not a medical professional. I can't diagnose. I can't assess. There's no way I could prescribe or anything like that. I just believe that there are people who are very skilled and knowledgeable in dealing with these sort of experiences. And so I always feel like they should be consulted first, because they have referential experience on how to like address this. And then you escalate. You know? Yeah, I mean, I've written about it in my lyrics. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's just one of those things that I have to be very responsible about how I talk, because if it is something that you struggle with, I don't want to enhance it. and we've had situations in GU where people have clearly had psychological conditions that they needed professional help for, that we weren't able to address, that they then sort of lashed out and did certain things where it was just like, we're not equipped to handle this at all. Like I'm the furthest thing from a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and anybody who can assess someone's mental state. So don't forget to hit that like button. Yeah, that's true. That happens. True. That happens too. Oh, I just realized that. That's my favorite cover of all time. This is literally, if you want to know what my heart looks like, it's this. Whoops. This right here is what this is. If you open up Greydon Square's heart, this is what it looks like right here. This. I've never seen anything more accurate. Like, I've never seen anything more accurate to who and what I am in my heart of hearts, is this right here. Throw a TV at him. He threw a TV at Donnie. That's crazy. Stupid. It's a great scene. Mm. All right. What happened to my chat? The hell happened to my damn? That's weird. That was so weird. Oh, what happened to my damn chat box? Hey, have a good one. Have a good one. You said, love the contrast in color for visual depth of emotion. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, man, you know, comics has always been an interesting way to tell stories. And, you know, you can do that through a lot of different techniques with art. I think that's one of them. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. I heard that. Now, I wasn't really into Firefly like that. I know there's a lot of people who are happy though, because Stargate's supposed to be coming back, and I'm pretty happy about that. So I don't know. We'll see how they do it. I don't don't know. I haven't seen anything like that, but I haven't also been looking. Oh, is it really? I mean, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, shit, that Strait of Hormuz shit is a real thing. And, you know, like war really does drive up fucking prices and shit. Yeah, I mean, that's not sustainable. And for what? Like I don't know who fucking signed off on this, but like, who thought this was a good idea? It's crazy. Damn. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been seeing polls that like people are split on whether we should have done this or not, and I'm just like, I don't know how there's that many people who think we should have done this. I'm trying to figure out where the logic behind that is, but I don't know. After 9/11, shit was slightly different. I think you had much more of an American sentiment to go abroad and, do things before they got, to our shores or in our skies or something like that. And it seems like, just seemed like Israel wanted to attack, and America was like, well, if they're gonna do it, we might as well, because they're our closest ally, and if they attack and we don't, it's just gonna make us look even more terrible than we have been looking. So it's like, I don't know, man. It just looks really fucking terrible. And you just look at the fucking global politics of this shit. It's just, everyone keeps using the same language too. You could tell it was like crafted in the room with the same people, and they just disseminated amongst the people. It's like, we don't want them to get a nuclear bomb, and it's just like, y'all been saying that shit for 30 fucking years, dog. Like, maybe even longer than that. So I don't know. I don't think very few people I think very few people in America want this shit. I've yet to find someone who's like, yeah, we should, boots on the ground. Like, maybe I don't travel in those circles. I'm sure there are. Karma, how you doing? Good afternoon. And thank you for the shirt compliment. Yeah, well, I mean, better that than nuclear winter. Ba-doom-doom. Yes, I felt like a little bit. Wanted to inject some light into the world. Damn, man. I gotta work on this gamepad support. He said, I passed up 87 opportunities to kill you in the last 3 minutes. Damn. Why do I feel like there's a... That's interesting. It's an interesting bug. Huh. Damn. As if you weren't planning to double cross me. It's like you were planning to double cross me, weren't you? I think he's like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I remember this. Damn. This is a great issue. Yes. Well, because the fucking 80s and 90s were grimy, dog. Like, remember, you know, the Turtle movie of 1990 was a fucking outgrowth of the 80s. Like, that movie is commentary on, like, from 1987 to 1990, maybe 1991. You know what I'm saying? So, that was just way more grimy. It was just way more grimy back then. So people weren't going to tolerate like a goofy turtle movie. It just wasn't going to happen. In order to do it like that, because I was a kid when that came out. 1990, I was fucking 9. And like, I remember seeing it at Universal Studios, Universal City Walk. Went to the premiere of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 1990. It was on some group home outing. We got this bag and everything. It came with a tape, had the soundtrack, the whole shit. Almost forgot about that. The first movie was dope. The second movie is tolerable. That third movie is unwatchable. That third movie is so fucking bad. I try to block out parts of that memory, you know, from my memory because it's so fucking terrible. It's so awful. It's like, yeah, it's bad. It's terrible. That wouldn't be terrible. I don't know if I would. You talking about like a Spawn style TMNT? See, I like the Turtles in DC. If I could put them in another universe other than IDW, it'd be in the DC reality. It's way more like serious. You know what I mean? Spawn is dope. I want to see what Spawn looks like on Majesty. for testing purposes. Yeah, like I said, I just don't like the. I mean, I don't mind the turtles being like funny or having humor or anything like that. That's not because I mean the 2012 turtles I still feel like is the best turtle incarnation outside of the 1990s. So 2012, 2003 are neck and neck. Like they're very close. I think 2012 is slightly better because it was slightly more serious, but that 2003 show is fucking incredible. A lot of people don't give that show a lot of credit. That 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show is incredible, especially those first 2 or 3 seasons. Man, that shit was amazing. But 2012 was so fucking good. It was so damn good that it was just like, fuck, this shit is incredible. Brass monkey, that funky monkey, brass monkey. Which cover you guys like? This cover, that cover, that cover. I've been looking at this Scream comic. The color in this shit is stupid. Damn. Did she just detonate herself? It looks like he's being vaporized. That's crazy. Damn, she fucked that dude up. Or was she grabbing on that last page? Oh, you talking about this right here? It says, "Look upon me, child. See the face of your demise." She says, "We have a better idea." He says, "Oh, indulge us. Listen closely and hear us." I don't think she was grabbing on anything. I think he was grabbing on her. It's a little chokehold. And then she fucking detonates on fools. I mean, if you gotta detonate on a fool like that, just for his tomfoolery. All right, let me see upper corner. Which way? You talking about this up here? I see what I want to see. Don't we all? Don't we all? Is she a symbiote? She is. She is. She's like a cross between Venom and Carnage. She's like, especially if you see her at the very beginning. Hold on, let me go to the very beginning of this. There's a like a picture of her right here. Like that one's dope. Yeah, there it is. It's like, yeah, she's like a Venom, Carnage hybrid. But yes, she's a symbiote. This art is beautiful. Shriek? Yeah. But yeah, this I've been reading this. It's pretty good. Like this is another one where you can really see. Interesting. I like that look. I like how her hair is like a weapon. Like that's dope. Yeah. Oh, like talking about like oops. So you're talking about the magnifier? The multi-layer magnifier? I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I also like that you can get rid of like the so like if I leave it alone right there, can you tell where the edge is? Can you tell where the edge? I can barely tell where the edge is. But if you move it, you can see it. Right? But only when you zoom in, hold Alt, scroll. Then it's like, oh, okay. Then it's like, okay, I need a new shape. New shape. New shape. New shape. New shape. That's better. I think this is the symbiote god or something like that. That's a great fucking view. Her hair is incredible. I'm not gonna lie. That hair is really, they're really selling the hair on that one. Thank you, Karma. From your man in Kickboxer with the long plate and yeah. You talking about Tong Po? Remember Tong Po from Kickboxer? I think that's what you're talking about. I want Tong Po. Give me Tong Po. Oh man, This art is just fucking incredible. It's just like I get so fucking enamored. Look at this whole page. This is a full spread. You talking about Null? Isn't his name Null? K-N-U-L-L. Yeah, this might be a comic that I would totally read. I would support this. I would buy these. If I could read these like this and they're, you know, affordable and I'm like, okay, every couple months I get a couple of these, I could read them and fucking they go into my collection. Dog. It's gonna be crazy. Apparently these are the books that you need to read for the feed. Read for the feed. Yeah, I think his name is Null. Oh, fuck. See that? I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to, like, try to go super fast. We have a bug to where you're supposed to stop, not do that. Or not a bug, but we have an issue that's filed where it's like, okay, don't do that till we fix that. I mean, not that you can't go fast, but trying to find where, yeah, Null. The King in Black. And he's a symbiote. I know I've been jumping around in this comic. I haven't been reading it linearly. Oh shit, he just fucking threw her. Mm. Ah, damn. You want the light inside of us? Come take it. Yep. I love this, the text as well, which is like dark background, light text. So much easier to read. Doesn't kill your eyes to read it. This comic is beautiful. Well, this, so look, if you own this already, right? Because this is in our legal agreement, so I have to kind of say this. If you own this already, you can upload this onto your Majesty account. But there's only so many slots that you can upload before you have to basically start paying for extra space, right? So, that being said, if this comics company, who is this? Fucking Marvel, right? Isn't this Marvel? If they want to sell things on the platform, it'd be great. It'd be awesome. They sell things on every other platform, so I don't think it'd be an issue as long as we're paying our bills. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing stopping this from being in our marketplace, right? Like if I go to our marketplace right now, these are all comics that are in there just for the sake of testing, but because this is in the dev branch, this is not in the live branch. But in the live branch, the only thing that are in the store are things that are Majestic Comics. So, because technically we're not authorized to sell somebody else's stuff unless, you know, they actually give us permission to do that. So, but from a testing perspective, lots of tests. On dev, lots of tests. This Dungeons and Dragons book, I know it's an old, like, D&D version or whatever, but still cool. Damn, look at that page. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's just beautiful. Oh, that's just beautiful. Man. Couple more tweaks. Couple more tweaks. Just the look on her face. The look on his face. The hell is he doing? Oh, he's robbing everybody. All right, well. I heard something about that, but I was so in my own fucking zone, I didn't even pay attention. But yeah, there was some big news that happened at Dark Horse. Yeah, well, I think what's going to end up happening is people can just sell them in a bundle. Like they'll be able to be like, hey, if you buy a physical version, you know what I mean? Like you can either give access or you can like, right? Like there's a lot of different things that you can do to monetize that. You can sell the digital and, you know, package that with the physical, and there's so many things you can do. So, yeah. Let me see the brother bones. Excuse me. Oh, no brother bones on this one. But this is also the build that has the fix. So. Oh, damn. Oh yeah, no, you're definitely gonna need a new. Yeah, it's the comic book addiction is gonna be overloaded. You said apologies if you already said, but the readers upload their PDF version of the issue. They can. You have space to be able to upload a certain amount of issues yourself. So like if you look at the bottom of this, what is it? Oh, doesn't actually say. Oh yeah, it does. 20 out of 20. So like the lowest tier, you can upload 20 of your own comics, and then past that point, you have to start basically paying for the space of the subscription to house either more or just pay for the ones that, you know, if you're paying for them on the platform, then they don't count against your number in your library. You just own that. Oh yeah, that sucks. Rest in peace, my coffee cup. It got hit by a bazooka. Kaboom. That rest in peace granny shit is the most viral shit ever. Mm. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a good idea. That idea you sent me, Doc? All right. Well, Final Northtown? Yeah. Well, I still got a couple meetings I gotta do. I'm gonna link up with a couple of the Manifest software people, but definitely down to Norch on the way out. Think about it every time I hit the hookah. Oh my goodness, you know it too well. Damn, this cat got his fucking tail just fucking chomped on. I mean, what do you mean? What's changing? Well, I mean, we're not cannibals. We're obviously going to change that part. Like, yeah, I mean... Why is there a heart on this cat's ass? I don't even like cats that much. I'm not a cat person, really. I'm not gonna lie. We're not gonna change a goddamn thing. I want to read this Stray Dogs. I mean, it had me at Silence of the Lambs, bred with fucking all dogs go to heaven. Jesus Christ, that sounds gnarly. That's the spot you kiss. That's funny. What time is it? I got a spring training game at 3. All right. Well, let me get on out of here. You guys have been wonderful and awesome. Appreciate you hanging out with me, hearing my thoughts about some stuff today. Oh, that sucks. I'll blow a little in the air for you. I'll see you guys later. I'll probably be on tomorrow as well. Even though tomorrow's my Monday, today's supposed to be my day off. There are no days off when it comes to this. But, yeah, I'll be around tomorrow. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Talk to you later. Peace, peace. Glad you guys liked the shirt. Might do a little bit more.